Hello everyone, Onlydraven here again, and today we're doing another tutorial in Minecraft Sky Factory 4. Today we're going to be looking at the different mob filters that are part of the Dark Utilities mod. These are great blocks to use to be able to separate different types of items, creatures, or even people from entering and exiting specific areas. Now if you find this video helpful and you like it, please be sure to click like, but most importantly, please remember to hit that subscribe button. That way you can see all my videos and tutorials as they come out. Okay, so to make a mob filter, it's relatively easy, something you make pretty early game. All you're going to need are 4 gates, 4 pieces of stone, and then a 5th item in the center. In this situation, I'm using a bone. What that's going to make for me is going to be a mob filter for undead. Now, if we go into the JEI and we look up mob filter, you'll see that there are multiple different types: player, undead, anthropod, hostile creatures, animals, water, babies, pets, slimes, fire resistance, and boss monsters. So depending on which one you choose, I chose undead, and that's why it's showing there's a bone in the center. For any other one, it's the exact same recipe except a different item in the center. So for animals, it's a piece of wheat. For hostile mobs, it's going to be a rotten flesh. For babies, it would just be an egg. So the overall recipe is the same for all of them. It's just the center block that changes. Now, an inverted mob filter is just placing a regular mob filter in a crafting table, and that will make any of them. So any of the, and if we look at the undead, by placing just a normal one in, we'll turn to inverted, and it will also switch back and forth as well. So if you make an inverted and you don't need it, you can put it back in the crafting table, and it will make you another of the same version of filter. So let's show how these work. So just to give an example, here I have a couple of inverted filters and a couple of regular filters, and both of these are player filters. And you can tell that by the picture that's on them. This one is a Steve face, so that's the filter and inverted filter. So with a filter, only the type of item matching the block can pass through it. So for me, being a player, I can pass through it as if the block was not there. Now an inverted filter will block only that type of item. So as a player, I can't go through. It's a solid object for me. But any mob or animal could walk through there as if it didn't exist. So it only blocks me. Let's give an example of how this can work for specifics. So let's go ahead and take a look downstairs. And here we have a little mob farm built up that we've used before. Got a couple friends here. Let's get rid of them. Turn that on real quick. That'll get rid of that spider. So we have just a mob farm in here. Fans are going to blow any items into those mob grinders, then they're destroyed. So here we go. Let's go ahead and grab some of these blocks here. Now I have a remote lever set up to those 2 dispensers you can see beneath me there. So if we do this, we now have a zombie and a creeper. Right? Those are the items. I have eggs in there that's going to spawn those 2. Turn the fan on. Just like this spider a moment ago, they'll be blown in and killed. So let's go ahead and take our mob filters we have here. I'm going to go ahead and put a double layer here. Again, I can't go through this. It's solid. The only thing that's going to let through are undead. Over here, and we'll turn our fan on again. And now we're going to use our remote lever to pop out a creeper and a zombie. As you can see, the zombie went through perfectly fine. Being undead, it passes through the block. But a creeper will not. It's being hit because, or stopped, because that's a solid object to the creeper. That off. Side. Move this guy. Now we're going to replace it with the inverted. Same situation. Turn the fan on. Pop us out a zombie and a creeper. Now, because it's inverted, it'll let anything go through it except undead. So skeletons, zombies, things like that will not be able to pass through, but creepers, spiders, and other players would. So there's different ways that you can use these blocks. Maybe you want to use them as a gateway or as a door to your house or something. So that way you're the only thing that can pass through that doorway. You don't have to worry about animals or any type of mob to come through there. You can just go ahead and walk through yourself. So that's just one of the many uses that you could use these blocks for. But they can be pretty handy depending on what you're looking for funneling different creatures, maybe even animals, farm animals. You can also make it so that, hypothetically, if you made the floor out of these blocks and you had it set to farm animals, anything else that walked across it would just fall through. Sky Factory would just fall through into the nothingness, whereas your animals would be perfectly fine. They would just walk on top of it. So that could be an example you want to do for animals. Set those down, your animals will walk around just fine. Now remember, you're not an animal, you'll fall through. So that's something to be aware of if you're going to build something like that. But it's a way of being able to filter living creatures or undead creatures through specific blocks while barring them from blocking others. All right. Well, again, pretty easy to put together, and there's some fun combinations you could do with this. I'd love to see what you put together. If you have any questions about this tutorial or any of my tutorials, please be sure to put those down in the description. I'll do my very best down in the comments, and I'll answer those as quickly as I can, as well as any recommendations or suggestions you may have for other tutorials that you'd like to see in Sky Factory 4. I'm always looking for new ideas. You can also go to my website, Onlydraven.com, and there you'll see a bunch of different resources, such as all of my tutorials and videos. You'll see links to all my social media accounts, like @Onlydraven for Twitter. You'll also be able to see my streaming schedule. You'll see the ODG store for OnlydravenGaming merchandise, and a whole bunch of other resources, so I do recommend checking it out to see if there's something there that might work for you. But that is going to do us for today. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.